Miranda Meehan, NDSU Extension.
Excellent. Thank you for joining the program here today. And talking reclamation, one of the first stories I did was the relationship between ag and energy. And I was blown away at how just layered and integral the reclamation and the land and energy process was. So when I saw that there was a reclamation conference happening in, I believe, is it Dickinson? Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. It'll be our 8th annual North Dakota Reclamation Conference.
So, eighth annual reclamation conference in Dickinson. I thought, oh, we got to get him on the air and talk about the conference as well as just some of the different speakers and topics to give people an idea how integral and how advanced and how innovative and layered this reclamation can be. So, Miranda, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So, first off, the nuts and bolts. When is it? Where is it? And give us that information.
The conference is, as you had already stated, is in Dickinson, North Dakota, February 25th and 26th, and it is at what was formerly the Ramada. Now it is the Roosevelt Grand Dakota Hotel.
Oh, they changed the name, huh? The Ramada did?
Yes, within the last week.
Is the spaghetti western done too?
I don't know.
The restaurant, you know what I mean? I can't
Yes, I
remember.
do.
Okay, good. Somebody email us and let us know. Jason at thecrudelife.com. I haven't been there in a while, but they changed the name. Okay, well, there we go. Eighth annual. So you've had them in the past. What are some of the highlights from the past, and what can people expect this year?
I think the really big highlight is, we always have a great speaker lineup, but just the number of people from industry that we're able to bring together. Last year we had 275 attendees. So to be able to bring all those people together in one place, to be able to network and talk to each other, make those connections, is really, really one of the biggest things that I think is an asset to attend this conference.
Are you speaking? Are you attending? Are you the organizer? What's your affiliation?
I am on the organizing committee since the beginning. I've been a committee member in different facets. I have spoken in the past because I do some reclamation research here at NDSU, but I am not speaking this year.
Okay. Talk to me about some of the different areas about, reclamation. We've had archaeologists on talking about some of the preventative side where they go out and they'll do site exploration and that sort of thing. But there's after the well gets drilled and after whatever, there's something, the land has changed. There's a reclamation process that goes on. Different, obviously, depending on every different site. But what are some of the different topics and some of the different areas that people can look forward to?
This year, we're focusing a lot on technology. So it's really popular, the new technologies that industry is using and those new things that are available to industry, as well as ecosystem recovery. And so how can we manage this if reclamation has been successful?
I imagine the EERC, the Energy and Environmental Research, is going to be part of this, either with speakers or iPipe. I don't know. They've been promoting that quite a bit over the last year, so I'm not sure if that's going to make its way into reclamation or not. But ERC involved this year?
Yes, we do have a speaker with the ERC talking about the BEST program, or the brine extraction and storage test program. We don't have anyone currently lined up with the iPipe part, since we had a speaker on that last year.
Well, you guys had them last year, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's when about they started promoting it. At least that's when I started seeing it, about a little over a year ago, and I wondered if it would make its way into the reclamation side of things. Do you guys break it into different areas, pipelines from well sites to, saltwater sites, that sort of thing? Or is it all just kind of engineers here and archaeologists here and land people here?
It's we've kind of reformatted. It used to all be just one session. Last year we did a keynote, which we have a keynote the evening before, and a trade show mixer with hors d'oeuvres and kind of gives people time to mingle and get to know each other and chat. And then the morning of the 26th, we have a general session that this year we're gonna focus on case studies. And then in the afternoon, after we will break into the concurrent sessions, which focusing on technology, and then the other focusing on ecosystem recovery.
You have a livestock in your title. Did I see that correctly?
That is correct.
Do you do much with the ag and energy relationship? I did a story on that, just the farmers and having wells on their property and just the interaction between the two. Does just kind of a sidebar from the reclamation side, you and your personal professional day to day, does that ever cross your desk, that sort of thing?
Yeah, so we actually have a project here that we're wrapping up. It was a 3-year research and extension project. And as part of that, we did discussion groups where we brought together industry and landowners to talk about some of the issues with brine spill remediation and bring them together and have that conversation, which was really, really great. And then we've done some tours and like highlighting some of the impacts there and some of the efforts that industry is making and the research that's being done specific to brine.
To brine. Would that be in terms of the water, or I guess talk to me a little bit about that.
That had been impacted by a brine spill.
Okay, that had been impacted by a brine spill. Okay, all right. Interesting. All right, so I find that stuff interesting. The average person probably wouldn't, I guess, but I don't know. Does it go over well at cocktail parties? Talking about brine.
I think it depends on your group there.
Yeah, that's a good answer there. So, all right. So let's kind of wrap up one more time. This is February 25th, 26th in Dickinson at the Ramada Grand Dakota Hotel, Roosevelt. What was it again?
It's the Roosevelt Grand Dakota.
Roosevelt Grand Dakota, formerly the Ramada Grand Dakota. That's what I remember it as. But you said just happened like this week. So I heard keynote. I heard mixer. I heard conferences, and I heard speakers, but is it breakfast and lunch and dinners and that sort of thing? So give us the kind of the summary one more time of what people can expect and how people can sign up and who the headlining people are. If you got any sponsors or still looking for sponsors, mention that too.
Yeah, so our keynote is Dr. Tom DeSutter, who has been doing reclamation-related research here at North Dakota State University for some time. He is a soil scientist and done quite a bit of research in the brine spill remediation area, and then also was part of the group that was working on some of the research related to the Tesoro spill that had happened. And so he's going to talk about current and potential remediation strategies for brine spill. So what are we doing now? What's the future? And how can we make some of that more sustainable? And then we kick off again Tuesday, the 25th. Registration at 4:30, keynote at 5:30, and then trade show mixer to follow. And then Wednesday we kick off bright and early with breakfast at 7:30 and wrap up around 4 o'clock. We will have a full agenda out by the end of the week that features all our speakers, and that will be available on our website. You can also register there and find out all the other information about the event, about our speakers, and that website is northdakotareclamation.com. We do have several partners for the conference, including North Dakota State University Extension, ARS, the Society for Range Management, North Dakota Department of Environmental Quality, and Dickinson State University. And our current sponsors, we're still have some sponsorship slots available as well as some booth spots. And that information also can be found on the website. But our current platinum sponsors are Martin Construction of Dickinson, Oasis Petroleum of Williston, and Golder and Associates. And our current gold sponsors are H2 Enterprise and Chesapeake Seed.
So I would imagine there'd be a lot of geologists there, and there would be, professors, um, and I would even imagine probably environmental engineers is even a thing these days. But uh, what type of people, by what type of people, what education and job titles and that sort of thing do you primarily see at a reclamation conference? I could see in the past, for example, where it would be maybe a lot of the same faces, a lot of the same engineers and chemists and soil and field and water, in the titles and things. But with the new environmental movement that's going on, are you guys seeing new faces, new titles? I guess talk to me about the people that do attend.
Yeah, so it's variable, especially when we have that many attendees. We have a lot of students because we have from Dickinson State that'll attend, as well as students doing research and reclamation from the local universities, from NDSU and from Montana. And then we also have people that professors, scientists that are doing research in this area, are working in this area if they're in the private industry, environmentalists, environmental scientists, environmental engineers. A lot of people with the different industry groups are oil and gas companies. Also from the regulatory side, we have folks from North Dakota Public Service Commission, North Dakota Department of Environmental Quality, Forest Service, some of those groups that are managing the lands that are being impacted by oil and gas development.
Any final thoughts? Anything we missed out on? I was going to just end with the summary of the information, but then I was thinking with the environmental movement, boy, I bet you guys would have all kinds of people that would come to get different ideas on how to use it in all kinds of different areas. I mean, I just see where the reclamation side of things can be used in so many areas on the preventative side and on the reactive side and on the public relations side and everything else in between. So, anything that we missed that you wanted to make sure people knew about?
I think we hit the high points, and if you do have any questions, you can check out the website, and you can contact myself or one of the other people that are on the organizing committee. Our information is up there.